Currently considered to be the most popular approach in career counseling, we have John Holland's personality and career typology. According to his personality theory, there are 6 personality types as well as matching career environments. For example, one of the personality types is the artistic type. We also then have environments or occupations that might also be considered artistic. With that, let's move on and talk about the 4 assumptions of Holland's theory. But first, my name is Keegan. I recently graduated with a master's degree in counseling. I make videos like this to help you better understand various concepts in the world of counseling, psychology, and generally mental health. Now, back to the 4 assumptions. I've actually already mentioned the first 2. First is the idea of 6 personality types, and the second is that there are the 6 matching work environments. The third assumption is that each personality type is going to try to seek out a corresponding or matching work environment or occupation, meaning that the artistic type would likely seek out an occupation or work environment that is artistic. His fourth assumption is that people's behavior is a combination of their personality type and the environment that they're in. We could really probably condense a lot of his theory down into one simple statement, that a good job is one that allows them to express their personality. Next, let's talk about each of the types in a little bit more detail. So the 6 types are realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. A possible way to remember these is with the term or the word RIASEC. Because the order of the personality types is actually important, if you can remember RIASEC, that could be helpful to you. But we'll cover all of that here in just a minute. First, let's talk about each of the personality types in a little bit more detail. First, the artistic type. These people are going to value expression and feel that creativity is really important to them. This might include authors, singers, poets, and musicians, to name a few. Second, we have the conventional type. With the conventional type, these people appreciate rules and structure. Occupations that are going to fit this type might be secretaries, clerks, or bank tellers. Third, the enterprising type. These people may have a tendency to dominate or generally be leaders. Salespeople, politicians, and business owners might all fall into this type. The investigative type is fourth, which fits for a lot of people who enjoy abstract thinking. As for occupations that fit this type, you might think of philosophers or mathematicians. Before we go over the last 2 types, if you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please help me out by giving it a like and subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. So fifth is the realistic type. For this type, they're often going to enjoy working alone, with machineries, or with tools. Those are going to be the places that they're more comfortable. This type might work as a farmer, mechanic, engineer, or a truck driver, to name a few possible occupations. Finally, the 6th type is the social type. These people are going to enjoy social interactions. You are actually probably quite likely to fit into that category since you're watching this video, as the social type will often work in occupations such as counseling, social work, or as being a teacher. Earlier I mentioned RIASEC and that it's important to remember these types in order. The reason that it's important to remember the types in order is because people can often have more than one type. They may have a more dominant type, but it's also not unlikely for them to have 1 or 2 other types as well. If we imagine RIASEC or all of these types as a hexagon, when a person has 2 extra types that are beside their main type, this is what we call congruent. However, if the types are not all by each other and there's space in between, that would be incongruent. For example, if someone's primary type is investigative, but also somewhat realistic and artistic, this would be seen as congruent. However, if they were primarily investigative with some realistic and some enterprising, this would be seen as incongruent. The reason then that it's important to remember RIASEC, or the order of the types, is because if you can remember them in order, you know which ones are beside the others. I hope that you found this video on the 6 personality and work environment types from John Holland to be helpful. While you're here, make sure that you check out some of the other videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.